In the early 1700s, Nassau was a backwater settlement, hit hard by war. The Spanish raids had left it in ruins. But in that destruction, opportunity appeared. Pirates saw an empty harbor, deep enough for their ships, far enough from Europe's reach, yet close to rich shipping lanes. Soon, battered sloops and captured frigates began filling the bay, their crews eager for rest, repairs, and raucous nights. Nassau was about to change forever. The pirates who came to Nassau weren't just random criminals. Many were former sailors, men betrayed by the harsh discipline of navies and merchant fleets. When they raised the black flag, they embraced a new identity: free men on the sea. Nassau gave them more than shelter. It gave them a place to trade, plan raids, and live outside the chains of empire. The island became both a hideout and a headquarters for piracy. Life in Nassau was rough, but strangely democratic. Pirates elected their captains, shared loot equally, and made decisions through votes. In a world ruled by kings and governors, this was radical. A sailor could go from scrubbing decks in a navy to commanding a prize ship in a matter of weeks. To many, this freedom was worth any risk. It's why Nassau became known as the Pirate Republic, a place where the CS laws ruled. At its peak, Nassau's harbor looked like a floating fortress. Dozens of ships lined the coast, their masts swaying in the breeze, sails patched from battles past. From the docks, the sounds of hammering, shouting, and singing echoed through the humid air. The local taverns overflowed with gold coins, exotic goods, and stories from across the Caribbean. Here, no one asked where your riches came from, only how soon you'd set sail again. The most famous captains in the Caribbean made Nassau their base. Blackbeard's towering figure was said to darken the horizon before his ship even appeared. Charles Vane was feared for his defiance, while Calico Jack was known for style, flying a New Scotland crossbones flag. Even Anne Bonny and Mary Read walked Nassau streets, proving piracy was not just a man's world. Their names became legend here. Not everyone in Nassau was a pirate. Local merchants, smugglers, and even farmers benefited from the trade. Ships brought in sugar, rum, and cloth, and left with stolen gold, silver, and spices. With so much wealth flowing, it was easy to turn a blind eye to where it came from. The island's economy thrived, and for a time, Nassau lived in a golden age of lawlessness. But golden ages never last forever. The British Crown viewed Nassau as a threat. Merchants' complaints grew louder. Piracy was eroding profits and destabilizing their control of the seas. In 1718, the British sent a new governor, Woodes Rogers, with a clear mission to eradicate the pirates. He offered a royal pardon to any pirate willing to abandon their ways. Those who refused would face the full might of the Navy. The era of the Pirate Republic was under siege. Some pirates took the pardon. They traded their cutlasses for farming tools or returned to merchant ships. Others, like Charles Vane, laughed at the idea of surrender. Battles erupted as British ships clashed with pirate crews. The waters once ruled by the Jolly Roger now echoed with cannon fire and splintering wood. Nassau's easy days were ending, replaced by fear and uncertainty. Governor Rogers fortified Nassau, turning it into a British stronghold. Those pirates who survived either fled to other islands or were captured and tried. The once bustling harbor now flew the Union Jack instead of pirate flags. The taverns grew quieter, and the wild songs of freedom faded into whispers of the past. The Pirate Republic was no more, but its legend would outlive its walls. Governor Rogers fortified Nassau, turning it into a British stronghold. Those pirates who survived either fled to other islands or were captured and tried. The once bustling harbor now flew the Union Jack instead of pirate flags. The taverns grew quieter, and the wild songs of freedom faded into whispers of the past. The Pirate Republic was no more, but its legend would outlive its walls. Even after its fall, Nassau's name stirred excitement. Writers and storytellers turned its history into tales of adventure. Some were exaggerated, others close to truth, but all carried the same spirit. The idea of a place where ordinary men and women could defy empires? Nassau became part of pirate mythology, inspiring generations long after the last cannon fell silent. The legacy of Nassau's Pirate Republic isn't just about theft and battles, it's about the human hunger for freedom. In a time when most people had little control over their lives, pirates created a society. Flawed, dangerous, but theirs. The vote of a deckhand counted as much as the captain's. In many ways, it was a floating democracy before America itself declared independence. Today, Nassau is a major tourist destination in the Bahamas. Cruise ships dock where pirate sloops once anchored. Visitors walk the same streets that Blackbeard and Anne Bonny did, though the taverns now serve cocktails instead of grog. Museums display relics of that turbulent era, keeping the stories alive for those who want to glimpse the past. Yet if you stand on the shore at sunset, with the warm wind in your face, it's not hard to imagine the creak of wooden masts and the distant shout of a lookout. History lingers here. The sea that once brought pirates to Nassau still stretches endlessly to the horizon, whispering the same invitation it did centuries ago. Freedom is out there, if you dare to take it. The story of the Pirate Republic is also a story of balance, between chaos and order, greed and unity. Pirates often fought among themselves, but when threatened by outside forces, they stood together. That solidarity helped Nassau survive longer than anyone thought possible. It's a reminder that even in lawlessness, there can be loyalty and code. While Hollywood often paints pirates as swashbuckling heroes or ruthless villains, the truth is more complex. Many pirates were both capable of generosity and brutality in equal measure. In Nassau, you could find kindness in one moment and betrayal in the next. It was a place where human nature, stripped of laws, revealed both its best and worst sides. The fall of Nassau didn't end piracy overnight. Many survivors scattered to other parts of the Caribbean, continuing raids from hidden coves. But without a central base, their power faded. By the mid-1700s, the golden age of piracy was over. Still, the Pirate Republic left a mark on history that no navy could erase. For historians, Nassau remains a fascinating case study. It shows how communities can form in the unlikeliest of places, driven by shared goals. Even if those goals were illegal, it also warns how quickly such societies can crumble when faced with stronger powers and shifting tides. In the end, Nassau was both a dream and a cautionary tale. When we remember Nassau today, we remember not just the pirates, but the idea that people can shape their own destiny, whether they were chasing gold, freedom, or simply survival. The men and women of the Pirate Republic lived on their own terms. And that, perhaps, is why their story still captivates us after 300 years. So the next time you hear the snap of a sail, or see the skull and crossbones on a flag, think of Nassau. Think of the voices that once filled its harbor, the deals struck in smoky taverns, the dreams that rose and fell with the tide. The Pirate Republic may be gone, but in the world's imagination, it will forever sail on.